I also was like really like stabbing it into things, and just I was trying to press the button. Why? Okay, so here I would have to literally hold it like. Hello guys, Melissa Miller, aka MelissaBackwoods here, and I'm doing a long form video. I said, heck, if I don't start now, I'll never start. So here I am in my kitchen, and I'm talking about a knife that I am extremely excited about and have been since it was announced, and that is the Reate Knives EXO-K Gravity Karambit. Now, they announced the prototypes at Blade Show, Texas. I ran over to their booth, and I was lucky enough to get a hands-on demonstration with their prototype by none only than the designer, Jerry. And recently, I was able to get the finalized model at Blade Show Atlanta. So I'm going to show you the prototype and compare it to the new version that I got. So I'm excited to show you just how cool this knife is. It's really fun. Okie dokie, here it is on my wrinkly hand cam. That's what I'm going to call this. I have wrinkly fingers. Anyways, here it is. We're going to open up the box right here. And with the knife, we get a little patch, a little sticker, this really cool certificate of authenticity. I love how they include some extra components, screws, spring, and we also get a microfiber cloth. We have the EXO-K models. So each box is going to come with not only the EXO-K, but it's going to come with a trainer version, a little more lightweight version of the model that obviously isn't sharpened because it's a trainer. I'm going to show you how these work in a minute, but let's talk some basic details. Now we have our Hawkbill style Karambit. This is made from Bowler 690 steel. Great steel, corrosion resistant, good edge retention, ceramic coated aluminum handle scales, and we have kind of this frag texture milling featuring a titanium back spacer. The pocket clip. It is reversible, which I love because I am left-handed, so you can carry that on either side, and better yet, the button is actually interchangeable as well. So it is very simple to take this button out and change it over to the other side. All you literally do is unscrew it and then switch them around. Now in the prototype version, I actually had issues with the button backing out. However, it looks like they've definitely changed up the components on this one. And as you can see, slightly different setup right here. You know, in order to back this out, we're gonna need two bits on each end, one to hold this one in place and one to torque this out. That was not the case with this one. This one, you could just hold it and turn it out and it came out. It just popped out really easy. To change out the button, as I said, it's just so simple. All you do is, it was on this side, so I can just, all I do is turn it over and I put it on this side. And I have now created a left-handed EXO-K with the exception of the pocket clip. Again, this is the prototype. It's a lot easier to do that than, you know, not a lot, it's slightly easier to do it on that one. Now let's talk about some upgrades in the model. So when I first got the, I should probably talk about how you deploy it, right? That would help before I get into the differences. So to deploy the EXO-K, it is a button lock. So the button is right here, okay? And all you do is you're gonna press, it's gonna be kind of like a simultaneous action. At least for me it is. I press the button and then I whip it. Of course it doesn't work. Okay, I press the button and then I whip it back and then you whip it forward, okay? And when you're not doing that in slow motion, it looks a little bit smoother, okay? Let's try on the trainer model. Okay, so whip it back this way and then you whip it forward and secure it in place. Now that one didn't, oh, it did lock in place, it didn't feel like it. And then to close it is also a one-handed motion. So to close it, you're going to whip it like this and then I kind of hold it there, swing it down, and then lock it back into place. Pretty cool. And then doot, doot. Closing it can get a little weird because when you're closing it, you have to, oh, of course it closes perfectly. Sometimes, at least for me, when I close it, and I try to squeeze it in here, I kind of got to move my hand weird to get it fully closed. But once you practice it enough, you get used to it. It's really fun having two trainers, because then I can play with them and you know, feel like a ninja. It's really hard. I know it looks dangerous, but like it's actually, when you're doing it right, it's not as dangerous as it looks. However, this is definitely not, I wouldn't call this a beginner blade by any means. And I do highly suggest to practice with the trainer, get super comfortable with that, and then move on to this. I had some background in balisong flipping, so I was comfortable with deploying a balisong several different ways. So I feel like this came really quickly, naturally to me. So if you kind of have a balisong background, you'll probably be able to get this on the first try. So I was a little worried when they gave me the prototype, because when the closing mechanism was really sketchy. Look at this, and I don't want to let it go. So when you closed it, it would have the potential to where it could actually cut you. I've actually nicked myself a couple times with the prototype. You really had to have good control in closing it at the proper angle. Like, I almost just nicked myself right there. It was dangerous. With the new model, you got to give it a little more gusto. And once snapped inward, it doesn't fall forward. So I'm going to kind of show you side by side what I mean. So this was the prototype, and look at when it closed. Okay, it was like free floating, just ready to stab you. And now we have the production version, which doesn't do that. It's a lot safer. It's like, it looks like an evil little finger. Overall, my only complaint about this is, like I said, when closing it, I wish it just could swing in a little bit smoother. Like, it doesn't just drop, right? But that's because your hand's in the way. So you have to kind of drop it, move your hand out of the way, and then squeeze it together. I don't know how they could engineer that to where you wouldn't have to push it, because obviously your blade, your hand's in the way of the blade, so it's fine. You just got to kind of squeeze it together. I also feel like maybe just because I'm so used to the prototype that you really have to kind of press down that button a bit harder to deploy it. But actually, now I'm thinking about, maybe that's probably a good thing. You don't want it to just be deploying out easily. Now I had to loosened it just a tiny bit, because when I first got this, it was like really tight. So in order to close it, I was really having to like whip it, you know. I was like, you know, really having to go, and then to get it down in place. I just loosened it just a little bit, and that gave it just a little more give to where it is much more comfortable to swing forward. Doing this in forward grip is really weird feeling. Okay, there we go. But to deploy it, you would just put you'd put your pinky right through here, and I would use my ring finger to press the button, and then you have it in forward grip. I had this thought, like, what if I am in a self-defense situation and I need to hold it as tight as I can, and is there a possibility of that button, which is right here, it's under the palm of your hand when you're holding it, is there a chance that this would come loose in a fight? And I honestly sat there for quite a while, and I tried squeezing it several times. And I also was like really like stabbing it into things, and I was trying to press the button. Why? Okay, so here I would have to literally hold it like this for it to deploy. So as long as you're holding it like this, and in all of my testings, it's staying locked in there. So if, you know, God forbid you have to use it in that type of situation, it's staying locked up, I think. At least in my test. So it's really a motion of, you know, disengaging that lock bar and then having it at an angle to where it slides back. Right here, I'm actually trying to disengage that lock by pressing on it while hitting the cardboard. And me trying to use a blade right-handed is comical. I really should reverse this blade to make it left-handed, so I can really hold it properly. But even left-handed, as long as you're squeezing it, it's not coming undone. Okay, I did want to show you what it looks like in the pocket. This is this is a right-handed one. So this is how it carries in the pocket. It fits in there pretty nicely, and then to deploy it, you know, you pull it out, and then you're gonna activate that button. Pretty nice and streamlined. So there you guys go. There will be some different color waves available. This is the tan and stonewash that I had in the prototype. You got a tan with the black blade, and then you have black on black, and then obviously black with the stonewash blade that I was showing you. This is definitely I would give this my stamp of approval. It's just a cool blade. It's innovation, and you know, a lot of people seem to be sometimes afraid of innovation, but it's what's moving this industry, you know, forward, and it's exciting. This is something that is super exciting. It is so fun. If you're a fidgety person like me, this is just like a very fun thing to play with. When I first got this prototype at like Blade Show Texas, I was just like walking around the whole time like dee, 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 dee. People are like, what is that girl doing? But honestly, it is so fun. It is fun at the end of the day, and it's cool, and I really enjoy this knife. I think it retails for around $170 right now. I don't know if that price is going to change, but I hope you guys enjoyed my fun little discombobulated review, and until next time, I'll put more information and links in the description too, so just read down there. Bye. And it's really fun having two trainers, because then I can just play with them all I want.